Anti-Semitic attacks and protests have been taking place across Sweden since Donald Trump recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, but Jews in the Scandinavian country say they have been under attack for years. Last week saw an arson attack on a synagogue in Gothenburg and an attempted arson attack at a Jewish cemetery in Malmö, Sweden's second and third largest cities respectively. Demonstrations involving hundreds of people in Malmö and the capital Stockholm saw protesters shouting anti-Semitic slurs and threatening terror attacks on Israel. Two days after the United States recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital, around 200 people attended a demonstration in Malmö at which some participants chanted anti-Jewish slogans. Participants shouted, "We have declared an intifada from Malmö.We want our freedom back, and we will shoot the Jews." A demonstration in the capital Stockholm this week saw hundreds carrying Palestine and Turkish flags chanting "We march on Jerusalem, millions of martyrs and O Jews, the army of Muhammad will return." The crowd gathered for a speech in Arabic, during which the speaker branded the Jewish people the descendants of cows and pigs, after which participants burned the Israeli flag with the Star of David. In recent weeks, Jews in Sweden have spoken to local media of being subjected to hate speech, attacks and insults against them, and say that it did not start on December 6. The Jewish congregation in Malmö only has 450 members, but as of last year, they have a person employed full-time to deal with security issues. Svante Lundgren, senior fellow in Jewish studies at Lund University, links anti-Semitism in Malmö to the rising numbers of immigrants from the Middle East. There is strong anti-Semitism in many countries in the Middle East, and as a result there are people who are brought up with it, not just hatred of Israel, but of all Jews, he told Kvallsposten. There is a lot of research in this field, and what you see is that some people from the Middle East bring strong anti-Semitic views from their home country. He adds that this is not true of all people with this background, and says that there are serious issues with anti-Muslim views in Malmö as well. There's a big proportion of people who are foreign, and in many areas there are social issues. When there are people who does not get integrated into society, it can be easier for them to turn it into hatred against a single group. This has been going on for many years. Often it's verbal abuse, people shouting abusive words and swearing both in Arabic and Swedish, the rabbi in Malmö, Shneur Kesselman, told Kvallsposten. They honk their horns and give the finger, and I have been a victim physically with people throwing things from passing cars in the street. Speaking anonymously for fear of reprisals, a female teacher reveals that anti-Semitic attacks and hatred against Jews have forced her to keep her religion a secret. I have heard pupils shouting about killing Jews in the corridors.The anti-Semitism is there constantly, she told years.Nyheter. There is such a hateful mood among the students. Hate against Israel and hate against Jews. I am scared, as simple as that. Others living in the major cities in Sweden speak of being too scared to wear the Star of David around their neck, or being subjected to verbal abuse because of their Jewish faith in schools, the workplace, or in public. The recent incidents have been condemned by Swedish Prime Minister Stefan Löfven and other top politicians, and authorities increased security around the synagogue and at Jewish centers in Stockholm and Malmö. The European Jewish Congress said it was unconscionable that Jews are under attack on the streets of Europe, and urged Swedish and other European governments to take strong punitive action against perpetrators. Mr. Löfven said, "I'm terribly upset over the attack on a synagogue in Gothenburg yesterday, and calls for violence against Jews at a demonstration in Malmö." There is no place for anti-Semitism in our Swedish society. The perpetrators will be held accountable. He urged all democratic forces in Sweden to work together to create a tolerant and open society where everyone feels safe.